Hello everyone and welcome back to my YouTube channel. In this video, I'll be showing you how you can add strategy alerts to your Tradingview strategy so that you can get notified when you have these longs and shorts as well as exits on your chart, and this can also be used to automate your trades. So the first thing that we want to do is we need to go to our docs, which is docs.crodltrading.com, and then at the bottom you will see strategy alerts. Now I will also be adding the code that I use in this video on here, but this is where you will find the snippet that you can just copy and paste into your own strategy. So right here we can see this long and short as well as the if statements, but I'm going to show you the example on Tradingview. So if we go back to Tradingview and I'm going to open the source code of the strategy, and now keep in mind that you need a strategy of at least a version 4 or higher, as the current version is version 6. So this might look a bit different for you, but I'm going to show you the differences between these versions as well, so you don't get confused when you're trying to add alerts. Now, if you don't know anything about coding, but you want to add your alerts, I'm going to try to explain this the best and easiest way. So what you can do is you can search for strategy.long, and then it will show you in the code basically what's calling your long and your short. And this is useful because then you can go ahead and add alerts on these conditions. So we can see right here, if long, then we have the strategy entry and the strategy.long. Now, if you have a bit of an older version of PineScript, such as version 4 or 5, you sometimes might not see this if statement, and it will maybe look something like this. So you might have a when in argument in your statement. So it may say when long. Now this is not valid in version 6 of PineScript. They have removed this argument, so now you have to use an if statement to add these alerts as well as these entries. And the same goes for your exits. So you'll also see that this is the bit of code that I copied from the doc section, which is the long string and as well as the actual input text area. Now, keep in mind that you don't need to use these long strings. I only use this for the tooltip. And if we open up the settings of this indicator, this is basically just going to provide you a tooltip right there. But if you have a pretty big or advanced strategy, this might take up a lot of space later on. So if you want to, you can remove it, and I'll show you how to do that as well. So if you go ahead, you just want to remove, for example, the long string. You can comment it out or delete it, but just make sure to delete the tooltip argument as well, and then you should be good to use it. So I'm going to keep it in here just to show you how it works. And now we're going to see that we have this long message variable. So we can use this in our alert message. Now the good thing about Pine version 6, all the actions you can call, like the strategy.entry or the strategy.exits, if you hover over it, it will show you exactly what you can add here. And one of the arguments that this takes is alert message. Now this makes it extremely easy for us to just go ahead and say alert message equals our input box, which is this long message right here. So the alert message for the strategy entry or strategy.long equals long message. Now what this means, whenever we get this long on our chart, this would send an alert as well with whatever message we put in our settings box right here. This is why this can be used to automate these trades, because we can add functionality to this long to send to our bot to let us know when it should enter a long, a short, or when to exit a certain position. Now I do have a lot of videos covering on how you can automate your trades using these methods, but I'm not going to cover that today. I'm just going to show you on how to set this up on your strategy. So now we can just exit and we can take a look at the actual exit logic of our strategy. And now for you, you might have a different exit method, such as maybe like an ATR exit or a trailing stop loss of a percentage. But this is just normal exits, percentage exits that I've added to this strategy. So if we go and we scroll down a bit, we can see we have a stop loss percentage as well as a take profit percentage, which are fixed values. So it's either going to be 1 or 2 depending on what I want to use. But after we've added this logic of checking the percentage gap, we now need to be notified whenever price hits that level. Now this is basically checking if we are in a long position, is checking if the position size is bigger than 0, Now, if it's bigger than 0, the logic on TradingView is bigger than 0 equals long, smaller than 0 equals short. So you don't really need to know that, but that's just how it specifies you are currently in a long position or currently in a short. Now, once we are in a long position, now we're going to use a method called strategy.exit. Now you can keep in mind that this has different exit types because we need to look for a stop loss as well as a take profit because our trade can go both directions. So here we'll see that it has a stop and a limit. This one is going to be for our stop loss and the limit is going to be our take profit. Now, I've just added another copy of whatever I had here in my doc. So I just copied this again and I pasted it here. But keep in mind that the variable name should be unique. So I just went and added an extra X in there to show that it's an exit. So you can't use the same name again like long string because that's already been used right here. So you need to change that to something new. Now, once you've done that, you can just basically go ahead in the strategy.exit and add another argument called alert message. Now, if you don't want an alert on either your take profit and your stop loss together, and you want it to be specific, so only for your stop loss, for example, there's another argument that you can use, and that's going to be, if you're going to go into comma, we're just going to see stop, that's going to be alert loss. So here you can see we have another argument, alert loss and alert profit, and this can be used to trigger specific conditions in our exit. So I don't care if mine is either stop loss or a take profit, because either way with my board I'm exiting 100% of my position, so I'm going to leave it at long X message. And now we can see that this long X message is another input box. And we can see that input box when we go to our settings inputs and we scroll down, and here we can see the long exit alert message with our tooltip. Now, whenever this alert fires at the moment, so I'm going to go ahead here on the right and we're going to create a new alert. And now we just have to select our condition as our strategy right here, strategy alert example. But now currently when there's going to be an alert that fires, it's going to be sending us this information and it's going to ignore whatever we put in our input boxes. Now we need to change that so that if we want to, for example, run a bot on this, when a long alert fires, it needs to have the correct logic sent out through the webhook. So one way to do this, and probably the only way with the setup, is if you clear everything out there and make sure this is empty, and you use this double brackets, and then you're going to say strategy .order .alert underscore message, and then you close those brackets. Now what this is doing is checking for the strategy and then it's going into the order and fetching that alert message. Now for example, in our code, our alert message is long X message, which is this input box. So whenever this exit fires, it's going to check what we saved in our input box and then it's going to send it through to the webhook. So this is a good way on where you only need one alert and you actually use your script to manage all your different logic for those alerts, and then you can save up on having to manage. If you're running multiple boards, you only need one alert per board, because this section right here, this is going to fetch the necessary information every time that specific alert fires. And if you create this, for example, you should see this message appear right here. But when it fires in your log, you will actually have the message whatever was in your input box. So that's just a simple way on how you can test this. Now there is one other thing that I can show you, that there's another argument that's called disable alert. And if you go there and enable this, so we're going to say true, then for the specific exit, the alert would be not firing. So that might be if you have multiple exits, but you don't want to add alerts on all of them or send it through to a bot, then you can use that. And as we can see right here, we have this log and it says long exit. And the reason for that was we received this close long and our exit was long exit because we were in a long position. So I hope you guys found this video useful, and if you have any questions, make sure to leave them in the comment section and also check out our Discord, and I will see you in the next video.